Hi, I'm Scott from Bego Games, and today I'm here with...
Tobias from Mooneye, developers of Lost Ember.
And as Tobias said, we're here to talk about Lost Ember today. So could you tell us a little bit about the game?
Sure, Lost Ember is an exploration adventure that lets you play as a wolf that has the ability to possess any animal he meets. Or rather, he gets this ability from a spirit he meets in the game, and the spirit once lived in a huge city, a huge culture in this world that now is vanished. And there are cities and everything they built lies in ashes and ruins. And later on in the game, you will discover, you will uncover memories in these ruins and find out what happened in this world. Your companion. It turns out that your companion actually knew you as well, because you're not a normal wolf. You're a reincarnation of someone who used to live in this old world as well. And the goal of the game is basically to find out what happened, how you two knew each other, and basically just who you were and how you fit into the fall of this old civilization.
So one of the main aspects of the game is obviously finding these memories and stuff. What was the idea behind that?
The civilization is heavily inspired by Incan and Mayan cultures and their religions and myths. So we took a lot of inspiration and ideas from different cultures around the world, but mainly Inca and Maya.
So where did the idea for this story-driven kind of animal kind of based adventure come from?
When we first started brainstorming game ideas, we had like 30, 40 ideas, I don't know, but most of them were like the traditional human hero thing, and we pretty soon realized almost every game is about some human guy who does stuff, and we really like the idea of playing from a different perspective that's not used that often, but we couldn't really decide how we wanted to do that and which animal we wanted to show. And at the time, I was playing Driver San Francisco. I don't know if you know the game, but you can switch into other cars. And we just kind of bashed those different ideas together and came up with the animal switching idea to just not only play one animal, but to play animal kind as they experience the world after the humans, basically.
So there's a lot of different characters, because obviously the possession mechanic in the game, there's lots of different creatures you can inhabit. Can you tell us a bit about the possession mechanic?
So the main animal is the wolf. You're always going to be able to go back to the wolf, and every time you meet an animal in the world, you can possess it. And these animals have different abilities, of course, that they can fly, swim, dig, climb, whatever. And you can make use of these abilities for whatever time you want, and then go back to the wolf when you feel like you can you want to explore something on the ground or something like that.
So how many animals are there in the game currently?
Currently 14, and it's probably going to stay in that range, so not going to be too much more.
So what are like the biggest and the largest creatures, and then the smallest ones you can do?
The smallest one is a hummingbird that lets them fly and dash through the world, and the biggest ones are buffaloes and actually elephants. Very later on in the game.
So the game obviously is set after the humans' kind of downfall, exactly, and like set in this future. So like, what was the you mentioned like Mayan culture and stuff like that. What was the idea behind kind of a nature-led creature game in that respect?
It came through the idea that I mentioned earlier, just experience something through a different perspective and get like a new, just a new perspective on the story or on the world. And so this in our game, the human culture was destroyed, and now we have to find out why and have to understand why and like get a new perspective on what they did and why they did it, and it's all. Yeah.
So one of the big things in the game is the art style and the world and stuff. What was the kind of inspiration behind that?
We tried lots of different art styles at the beginning, and when we landed on this, our art director Max is heavily inspired by movies of Pixar and stuff like that. Up or The Good Dinosaur are like some of his favorite movies, and so he really loved this style of kind of realistic shaders, but in a stylized form. And yeah, so that's where most of the inspiration comes from, I think.
So obviously the game is very story-led in that respect. What made you want to create a story with these creatures?
Well, we already had the nature setting, as I mentioned earlier, so we just felt like we really liked games like Journey or Firewatch or things like that, and we felt like to really enjoy like exploring the world with different characters, you need some red what's the English word for red thing, something to lead you on, something just to follow and to motivate you to actually go through the game, and yeah, a story that you have to uncover yourself was just the best we thought that would be possible.
So obviously exploration is a big part of the game. Is there like how expansive and explorative is the game? Like how many areas have you got?
Well, the main game is still pretty linear, but there are more open areas that you can explore, and we have lots of different environments like mountains, deserts, or forests, and underwater, of course. And yeah, don't want to talk too much about how many different places we have, because some of them are still a bit of a secret. But yeah, there are going to be lots of different environments that you can fly or swim or run around in.
It's a very calming kind of experience playing the game. Is there any like aspect of the game later on where you kind of feel like more urgency or in like danger?
Not really in that way. As I mentioned earlier, games like Journey or Firewatch were one of the main inspirations. So we were really aiming for like a relaxing kind of game, and the action happened earlier when the world was destroyed, and now you have to just find out what happened, and yeah, there's nothing really pushing you to do anything. That you can do that on your own pace, basically.
So it's very much take it at your own kind of leisure.
Yeah, exactly.
Go slowly with it. So obviously it's very big into the experience of the game rather than kind of feeling like pressured or like you're motivated by the story in that respect. So one of the main things that came out of this game is it originally started on Kickstarter.
Exactly.
So how's the community been about around the game since the Kickstarter?
It's been really cool. We never had like our own big community before, and in the Kickstarter we have like tens of thousands of people who actively comment on our posts and stuff like that, and it's really amazing to see their feedback on new screenshots we put out or stuff like that, and yeah, it's really cool to work with. And yeah, the Kickstarter itself was obviously amazing for us just to get like the feedback and the assurance that people are actually interested in our game and are willing to buy it at some point. So that was a great like proof of concept for us that our game idea wasn't totally crap.
So with Kickstarter and having all this feedback and stuff, how much has the feedback from contributors to Kickstarter and things from the community at conventions and stuff, how much is that kind of fed into the development?
This is really important for us since we don't have like a big pool of QA testers. So conventions like this, or every time we put up a demo, basically, it's really important for us to see how people react to it, and especially how people react to new demos we put out in comparison to the old ones, and see how the changes we made impact the gameplay. So yeah, this time again we already noticed lots of things that we're gonna change or do a bit different in the game, because people just found a lot of new bugs and had some suggestions as well. So we got a lot of people who just pitched their ideas, and that's always really cool, and got a lot of ideas that we actually really liked that came from the community. So it's really cool.
So with the game, it's currently in development. It's in alpha currently. We've got the alpha build here today. What can we expect to see more added in the final version?
Well, of course, lots of more animals. And yeah, this demo that we have here is just like basically a very short part of the game. The full game will be about 5 hours long and take you through different locations and with different animals. And yeah, we actually hope to have our alpha feature complete alpha ready next month, So from then on, it's just polishing everything and making the animations smoother, add more effects, add more everything, and make everything look nice and pretty.
So do you have when do you plan on the game being released? So it's the end of this year.
Exactly, yeah. We plan to release end of this year for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and hopefully Switch a couple of months later.
So if we want to keep on track with the development and keep up with the updates of the game, where can we find you?
We are most active on Twitter, but of course you can also follow us on Facebook or subscribe to our newsletter, and yeah, subscribe to YouTube, everything.
That's all Moon Eye.
The Twitter account is Moon Eye Studios, and Facebook probably best to follow Lost Ember directly. And yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Very excited for the release, and remember to follow us on YouTube at Bago Games, as well as our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and more articles to come on bagogames.com. And remember to keep up to date with us in all those places, so that you can keep track to more Rezzed stuff. And I've completely balked the outro. I'm really sorry, Chris. You want to do it again? And remember to keep track with us. Hang on, I've completely forgotten what the outro is. I'm so tired, Chris. I can't remember the outros. I can't remember anything.